This is Plainer Jane, and this is going to be my first video blog. I'm going to try and keep it short, mainly because I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to post it. I don't really have time to edit it because of all the stuff that's going on right now, and I want to get this out as soon as possible. I'm going to preface this by saying that before I actually get into the meat of this post, in terms of New Eden fame, I'm no one. I'm just learning how to really be decent at PvP. I've only been subbed about a year and a half, 12.5 million skill points. Not a total noob, but still learning the ropes, really, what's going on. Not in a major alliance. I don't run a major corporation. I'm just a customer. And I have 2 accounts. One is my main and the other one is my industry alt. So I pay CCP $30 a month to be able to play their game in the way that I want to. Granted, my second account, obviously optional, but everybody knows that, that's really how you gotta do it, because you can't train more than 1 tune on 1 account, so yada yada, we all know the deal. The thing I'd like to address right now is the leaked document and the subsequent response in the dev blog post by CCP Zulu. From the point of view of an indie game developer and from a customer who is paying $30 a month for the game that she loves, only to watch it be completely destroyed. CCP, you have disappointed me. I used to look up to you from my little indie dev point of view in my crappy basement studio where I work with my friends on a demo game every day and probably put as many hours in as you do, only I don't get paid. I'm not wealthy. I don't have disposable income to blow on $80 monocles or $50 pairs of pants. I don't see the point in what you're doing right now from any perspective. And you're destroying my game. You're destroying the game that so many people love by taking out the whole reason they play it. If the lines set out in that leaked document actually come to fruition, which with the implementation of a microtransaction system, we all know where it's going, and you start selling ships, modules, ammo, things that are premium and not available on the market, not craftable by players, you take the very consequence for failure that your game is based on right out of the game and flush it down the toilet. And posting a response to player concerns about this document and about the prospect of this happening that basically says, number 1, stop smack talking our employees, and number 2, too bad for you if you can't afford it. What are you thinking? I'd like to know the thought process that went behind that post, that made you say that, because you know what? That's an insult to me. It's insulting. And it's insulting to any other player who comes from, the economic situation that I'm in, that just plain doesn't have it, that can't afford to go scan a credit card when they lose a ship, that actually have to earn their way through EVE, which is the point of the game. Player-based and player-driven. What happened to that? Where'd it go? Because if you follow that little line of ideas in that document, you are taking the very nature of the consequences that you even put out a t-shirt about. In EVE, death has consequences. There's no consequences for the rich, but there sure are consequences for the poor. I make video games because I love video games. I make them because I love to make them. I like to see my ideas make people feel something. And not in the same way that a movie does, but because of their own interaction with something that I made, they have an emotion. That's why I make video games. Why do you make video games, CCP? I know it used to be for that reason. I could tell. I could tell by how the game was designed and the way that you did things, and that made my respect for your company grow so much. What happened to that? Where are the people that had those ideals? Are they still with you? What do they say about all this? I'm just a nobody customer. I'm not famous in New Eden, but I do love your game. I love it how it was before all of this happened. Can't we just go back to that? I'm not saying take out Incarna. I'm not saying disallow walking in stations. The feeling that I got the first time that I came out of my captain's quarters, walked down that catwalk, and saw my Dramil sitting there in the hangar for the first time, that's the kind of emotion that I like to invoke in people when I create something. That made me think that maybe a glimmer of that ideal is still there. Please don't do this to your game. I'm not asking as a customer. I'm not asking as someone who's looking for something to complain about. I'm asking you as a gamer that loves your game, that has found a passion for it, that has unsubbed to every other game that she plays so that she can afford a second account for your game. You guys need to think about this, and you need to think about it seriously, and you need to look at that dev blog post and really consider whether or not that was what needed to be said. I'll give you a hint. The answer is no. Go back to the days when you addressed player concerns and answered their questions. It's going to take you time to earn trust back, but it ain't impossible at this point. And before you post another dev blog, please, 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 please consider, before it goes up there, showing it to the CSMs. That's what they're there for. And let them tell you whether or not it's going to do more harm than good. Anyhow, a little bit longer than I wanted to go, but I said what I needed to say, so I hope everybody's having fun blowing up that monument right now. And I set up my skill training and logged off, so you may see me around, and you may not, but I'm anxious to see where this goes. And I'm anxious to see what happens and what CCP's next move is going to be, because right now they are 2 steps back. Hope everybody's having a great evening, and fly safe.